and gentlemen, and welcome to Virtually Real, a
Hello.
podcast that me and my friends are trying out. Yes, my friends are here. We have Arne.
Bonjour.
No, we're not.
And we have Ben on the other side.
Hello, guys.
This is RandomiteStudios, by the way, but you should have figured that out because this is my channel.
The one, the only RandomiteStudios. The crowd goes wild.
Woo, yes, thank you.
Yes, of course.
Doesn't matter.
Well done, sir. Very well done.
So yes, this is a podcast. We've actually had this idea for quite some time, and now we're actually doing it right now.
Yeah, we decided to act upon it. We actually did something
Yes.
for
We're gonna
once.
unleash our creative madness upon you people.
Yes, I think it was how long did we talk about it? Like half a year or something? A couple of months at least.
Many
Yes.
months.
Many moons
now
have
we're
passed
actually-
since the idea first dawned.
And now we're actually doing it.
We've
that's-
grown the backbone.
Yes, that's quite exciting indeed. First of all, I'm gonna have a little channel update.
Exciting.
Exciting indeed. I think Wednesday, let me check it real quick. Wednesday or Thursday, I think I have released a new episode of the City Construction Challenge. I think it was Wednesday, right? And I was talking about what did I talk about in that? Yeah, just it was a quick update actually that I have returned after a long hiatus
From the land of the dead.
since the previous episode was on the 4th of December.
Yeah, that's a while back.
And it's now the end of January. And yeah. And in the episode I was talking about something special we were going to do, and that's actually this podcast.
Yeah, for all you guys that were thinking about strippers and cake, well, I'm sorry to disappoint. It's just gonna be three guys talking.
Aw.
Three guys talking, yes.
And here I had all these cool ideas for the party, but yeah.
No party today.
Aw. Yeah, sorry, guys, you can go home now. Sorry. Yeah, I know, we're all disappointed. Yes.
Yes.
You can go home, it's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll see. See what you did now.
Thank you for that. So now that the City Construction Challenge is back, I'm probably also going to do some more series. I was thinking about doing Skyblock with you guys.
Yeah.
Which could be very interesting.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah, very interesting indeed. I picture myself falling to my death on numerous occasions.
Yes, the three
Probably
of us on a tiny island suspended miles above the air. That's gonna be
A 3x5 island.
lovely.
So you can expect that. Also, you might have noticed I have stopped the Kingdom of Loathing series. It was on episode 3 that I got a copyright, no, not really a copyright claim from YouTube, but with a whole new YouTube copyright system.
Oh goodness, you actually got one?
Well, it's not really copyright, but it's like it's not verified. That it's like YouTube says we do not know if you have permission to use this footage.
Oh Christ!
But it's a browser game, so but it's really complicated with the copyright
YouTube.
system.
Christ.
Some people that made music on their own got a copyright
because
copyright
YouTube
claim
isn't
on
sure
the-
if they have allowed themselves
Yes.
to use that music.
It's their own music. That's
Exactly.
really weird.
Which is a story I heard recently. Is Gavin Dunn, the guy from Miracle of
Yeah.
Sound?
Yeah.
He actually got a copyright notice that he was pirating music made by Gavin Dunn.
Oh, that's
So
absolutely
music
beautiful.
that he himself made actually got him.
Copyrighted.
Yeah,
Wow,
exactly.
that is amazing.
So it does get absurd.
That's what happens when you staff an entire website with robots.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's completely automated, and there are nearly there's no people involved unless you mail to YouTube saying I've got a false copyright claim or something you want to dispute. For the rest, it's just all bots, so that's bad.
Yeah. The heartless robots have started to take over the human race.
I was about to mention, this is where it starts.
Yes, it starts at YouTube. So anyway, so Kingdom of Loathing is gone. Also, the Flash games I have deleted because that could also be trouble for the copyright system.
One wonders why we would even bother uploading videos to YouTube anymore.
Yes, indeed.
Except when it's about cats, of course.
Cats and Minecraft.
They will rule the world.
So anyway, so that's gone, unfortunately. But except for Minecraft, you can expect some new series like Starbound, which we will be talking about in a minute. That's going to be a single-player series for now. You can also expect Left 4 Dead with all three of us. Some Age of Empires 2. And I have written down here Sins of a Solar Empire, but I don't own that copy. I don't own a copy of that game.
We will make you own it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, or we'll burn you at the stake. You can pick.
Okay.
It's a good one.
I've seen some footage of Sins of a Solar Empire, and it looks really awesome.
It's a good one.
Right. I think that's about it for the channel. So let's move on to the gaming section. We will first talk about Minecraft and mainly about the snapshots for 1.8. Let's see. The first snapshot was in the second week of January. That's why it's 14W02C. C, yeah. It's if it's an A or a B or a C, it's mostly bug fixes. It's
I guess.
The A snapshot is the main snapshot, and B and C are fixes of crashes.
I am
and
massively out of date on Minecraft updates. Ironically,
yeah.
Fill me in, or fill us in.
So there's been 3 snapshots because we are now in the 3rd week. Well, this is actually the 4th week already, but it's usually on Thursday that snapshots are out. So it's a good thing we are doing this before Thursday, because else it would have been lots more.
Yippee.
So first of all, the very first snapshot of 1.8 we get in survival. I've divided it into a couple of things like survival, creative, adventure mode, and commands, minor changes, and that. So first of all, survival changes. There's going to be 3 new stone types. There's going to be diorite, granite, and andesite. And
oh wow, we're getting all geological.
Yes,
on that
geological.
Interesting.
And they all have their polished version, which is crafted in a 2x2.
Yeah, I believe. I actually believe I've seen those. They all have like slightly different colors, right?
Yes, it's a light gray, a dark gray, and a bronze kind of thing. But it's I've seen some good designs, some good combinations with other blocks on Reddit, on the subreddit. But as a standalone block, it doesn't really look that appealing.
Yeah, no, it's true. But actually, I've missed that. To be honest, I've missed different colors of gray in my cities, because the standard neutral gray color just gets really boring even if you use it in different varieties like cobblestone, stone bricks. It's interesting, but if you use it too much, it just becomes really, really boring. So that's actually quite cool that we're gonna have new colors.
So actually, question, do these rocks and these new stone types, do they actually appear naturally, or you just have to craft
them? They appear naturally. I think mostly in the, what's it called? The Extreme Hills biome.
Okay.
In the open, at least, I think. And then underground, obviously, there will be pockets. Like you have dirt pockets under the ground. You will have
so they appear in small
andesite or granite
small pockets then.
Oh. Yeah. But you can also craft them with, let's see, diorite can be crafted with cobblestone and quartz. It's like, it's still 2x2, but it's diagonal. So we have 2 quartz in the diagonals and then cobblestone in the diagonals. And then andesite with cobblestone and diorite. And then granite with diorite and quartz. Uh-huh. So it's actually, you can get all the new blocks with just cobblestone and quartz.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so you don't have to look around all that much. Also, a very fun thing that's been implemented: a slime block.
The slime
very,
block.
very exciting. You can bounce off these blocks. It's amazing.
I envision bouncy castles.
Yes, bouncy castles,
trampolines,
and news, parkour map.
Yes,
techniques.
That's actually really cool.
They break or fall. There's no fall damage, and it's really amazing. It's not a 1-by-1 rebound. It's like, I think it's you lose or you only jump up 80% of the original height you were.
8%.
80%.
Okay.
80%.
So if you
or
were
somewhere around that.
If you were to bounce from the top of the map all the way down, you'd still go up really, really high.
You would go up really high, but not back
not
to the top
as
of the
high,
map.
but
And no. So and it reduces every time, and until you stand still.
Okay, someone needs to make a mod where that percentage is actually over 100. So we just keep
Over
going
100.
higher and higher and higher.
Yes.
That needs to happen. Modders get on
would
that.
be
Come on.
Cool. Yes, that will probably happen, actually.
Yeah, knowing the modding community, someone somewhere is already working.
It's probably
Yes.
already happened.
Right. So the slime blocks can be crafted in by a 3x3 grid of slime balls, and they can be reverted back to a slime ball. So it's also a good way to store your slime balls, so you don't have to have stacks of 64 in a chest. You can have stacks of 64 slime blocks in a chest.
I don't think I've ever
which
had
holds
that many
a lot.
slime balls, though.
If you have a slime farm.
Yeah, well, slimes do tend to accumulate.
Yeah, really, fairly quickly, yeah.
Yeah, well, Ben, when you play Minecraft, everything tends to accumulate.
Yeah, I'm a hoarder. Hoards.
Right. This next thing that was implemented was actually in bold. Crafting doors now gives 3 doors instead of 1, and they are stackable. Which
God.
is amazing.
Fuck, yes, finally.
It's really,
That
really
basically
amazing.
makes the update worth it.
Yes.
That thing
It is.
alone could have been an update.
And but it's weird that they give 3 doors, because the hatches, the wooden hatches, it's also 6 wood planks, but then diagonal. They give you 2, so then that's an even number, and this 3 doors is an odd number, which is I think it's a bit weird.
Oh, maybe doors just require less wood. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. But they are stackable, so that's really good.
Or maybe Mojang just wants to piss off people that like even numbers. It's like, no, you're not
Could
going to
be.
stack this in a nice 64 pile. Nope.
Nope. You'll always have a 1 door spare.
Yeah, that means he probably hates my guts because I tend to get real obsessive with even numbers.
A bit OCD.
Please, just 1 more.
But now it's not symmetric anymore.
Oh no.
Yeah,
This
that's awful realization when the arena you've been building turns out to be asymmetrical.
Right. This next thing, the rare blocks can actually now be crafted. The mossy stone brick, which you can only find in strongholds, I think. They can be crafted with stone bricks and vines now.
And vines. Okay, that's pretty clever.
The same with chiseled stone brick, which you can only find in
Jungle temples, I
Jungle
believe.
temples, yes.
Oh, that's going to be
They can now be crafted as well with 2 stone brick slabs on top of each other.
Nice.
Actually, in a way, I think that's almost kind of a shame because they were sort of like a rare commodity, right?
Yeah, they were sort of collectible.
The moss bricks, not as much because, well, they're moss bricks. They're not that special. They're cool for dungeons, but that's about it. But I like the idea of having that chiseled stone being a kind of a rare thing, and getting to display it would be sort of a special thing.
Yeah, I think on the community on Reddit also mentioned like the exploring part. In this, with the fact that you can craft these now, the exploring part of finding the bricks is a bit is gone. You don't have to explore all that far anymore to get all the blocks.
Exploring in my Minecraft.
Well, there are other things you can collect in those things, right?
That's true.
I mean,
there's plenty of stuff to collect.
True.
I like exploring in Minecraft. I really do. So I don't really think that the fact that they made this craftable in any way reduces the exploration level.
The exploratory
Explorability is probably a very good word. Yes.
That thing.
Revengeance.
And also a thing you can say is you don't have to craft them. You can still go look for them.
Yes, as if that's gonna work.
Well,
no.
Humans are lazy things.
Yeah. Okay, that's true. So the next
lazy, considering how long it took us to get to this podcast.
Right.
True that.
The next thing is some very big changes on the enchanting system. It now requires lapis to level or to enchant your stuff. Lapis lazuli. Yes. So
That's
enchanting will cost. Yes, it's quite interesting, but it's quite tedious as well. But so enchanting will cost 1 to 3 levels, depending on how high your level you want your enchantment to be.
Yeah.
But you still need the same minimum total levels. So if you want a level 30 enchant, you still need to have 30 levels. But it will only cost 3 levels. It's a really weird system.
That is really weird, yes.
Actually,
Yes.
I think it makes a lot of sense, actually. Well, maybe not makes a lot of sense, but
I guess in a way.
It does help, because grinding the 30 levels just to find that the thing you get is useless.
Is Bane of Anthropods 4.
Yeah,
Yes.
that exactly is
Fucking
very,
jackpot.
very, very frustrating.
Yeah, no, actually, I guess that makes sense. I was wondering
but
though,
also-
how much lapis do you need to pay for that thing?
It's for so it's you have 1 to 3 levels you need to enchant, so it's 1 to 3 lapis you need to use. So at a level 30, that's the highest one, you need 3 lapis to put in there. So they've
Finally,
actually
Arne, your economy makes sense.
yay.
That's
but
an intern
they've-
joke. We'll explain it at some point.
At some point, probably. But actually, that gives another reason to use lapis, because right now I don't think there are many uses for lapis except for lapis blocks.
You know, actually, I would like to explain that joke, because we used to run a server. It's down now for the moment, but we used to run a server, and it got to a point where we actually started using currencies to trade for things. Now, the rest of the world was smart and used emeralds as is basically the basis of the trading in the entire game. I, however, wanted to be special and decided to choose lapis over that. Now, what I did not think of at the time was that lapis is basically piss easy to get out of the ground. And massive inflation occurred, and I was kind of screwed.
Yes.
So, yeah, kids don't use lapis.
Real world economics in Minecraft.
Don't use lapis, kids.
Don't do lapis. Just say no.
Where the emerald would be the US dollar and the lapis would be the and now I forgot.
End of analogy. Okay.
End of analogy indeed.
Let's continue.
A valiant effort.
Rubles. That's what it was.
Rubles, okay. So enchanting 1 to 3 levels. One of the enchantments will be shown in the tooltip, so you know at least one enchantment you're gonna get on your tool or weapon.
Oh, so you can either pick that one or on your
Yeah, so anything you put in, you know at least one enchantment you're gonna get, depending on which level you choose, obviously.
Right.
So if you have a level 30 enchant, you put in a helmet and you hover over the level 30. It could say Respiration 3, for instance.
And then there might be
more. Yes.
Right. But you can't see that. Okay.
But you can't see that.
That's kind of clever.
Also, not to abuse that system, they had it so you cannot cycle through the enchantments anymore. So whatever you put in, so for instance, you put the helmet in and you get Respiration 3, that is what you're going to get on that helmet.
Okay,
you cannot change that anymore unless you enchant another thing.
Right.
Then it changes around, but it's always the same. Before you enchant anything, it's always going to be the same enchant on that item.
Yeah, so you can't just click until you get something useful.
Indeed.
Right.
Because who would do that?
Damn. So if you have a sword and you see Bane of Anthropods 4, you can just cycle through. You could enchant a book, for instance, then it changes. So in a way, you can always enchant something else real quick in order to maybe change the enchant you want on the other item.
Just go to the enchantment table with 20 stone swords.
Yes, you could do that.
Any system is abusable. If you try hard enough.
If you try hard enough. Also, leveling up takes longer, apparently. It's going to take a longer while to get to level 30, but you only use maximum 3 levels on the enchant, so it's kind of leveled.
Balancing, I guess.
And also, there will be reduced anvil costs. Renaming items will cost 1 level instead of 5, I think it was.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, thanks for that, because that was a pain in my butt.
Yeah, and repairing will cost 2 to 5 levels, so a lot less. Even if you have renamed something and it's already enchanted with max levels, it won't cost like 37 levels or something to repair. So that's good.
That's very good, yes.
Which I always found really weird, because my regular sword, would cost like this many levels, and then the sword, if I just given it a fancy name, would cost so much more.
Yeah.
It's customized.
There will also... Yeah, sorry.
I guess it's sort of the equivalent of getting like a custom license plate. just like driving a car with license plate badass.
Badass.
Yeah,
yes.
that's
without the vowels.
Yeah,
but you know what it says.
But there's 53.
Yes. So that was enchanting. I think maybe in the next snapshot there are some changes. No, I don't think so. So there will also be some rebalanced villager trading. Offers will be less random and probably more useful. I like the use of probably there. Because that's 5 emeralds, doubtful. 5 emeralds, or like 20 emeralds for shears. No thanks.
I don't know, man. These are really good shears.
if they're
right.
really good, then okay.
Like, you're not gonna get any better on this side of the, thing. I was gonna say hemisphere, but it's Minecraft, so that doesn't really work.
Right. Trading
kind of flat.
Trading will give experience, so that's also something a bit more useful to trade. Villagers will have professions. They will be displayed on top of their GUI. If you open it, it usually says just villager. Now they actually have professions.
Oh, that's cool.
And they each sell their separate items. Let's see, we have a librarian, that's still paper, books, and all that things. We have a cleric who sells, I think it was enchanted books.
Bottle of enchanting and such.
Yeah, like that. A fisherman.
I think he sells cooked beef.
Yes, probably. We have a farmer, that's still the same, I think. Fletcher.
Oh wow! A guy that will probably sell both things.
Yes, a shepherd, so that's wool and colored wool, I think. A butcher, that's still the same. A leather worker, and then there's also an armorer, but I don't leather worker, armorer. That's a really difficult word.
Armorer.
I don't really see the difference between leather worker and.
Well, a leather worker makes things out of leather, like say leather vests and such. Yeah. And an armorer makes things out of metal to protect yourself with.
I was wondering if you were going to say makes things out of armor. That would be fun.
It makes things out of armor.
Like an armor vest.
Like an yes.
Actually, that still makes sense.
From the material armor.
Well, it's still a better concept than making chainmail out of pure fire.
Yes, that's true.
Minecraft, ladies and gentlemen.
Minecraft. There's also going to be a toolsmith, so that's probably shovels, axes, and a weaponsmith. Swords and the like. Let's see. Villagers start out with 2 trades unlocked. So that's good. Instead of 1, it's actually 2, so you can choose. And trades are unlocked more freely. I think that was every time you trade something, 2 more trades get unlocked. So it's no more 1.
And then do they have a maximum of trades that you can do?
Maximum? I don't really know actually. I don't think so. Well,
so basically, you can, in the end, you'd end up with like 100 trades on a single load.
No,
that would be weird.
There's probably a limit, but it's usually sometimes trades get locked, and you have to trade something else before they get unlocked.
I never understood that system actually.
They get a little snooty about what they want to trade.
Yeah, maybe, but now that they're working on the villagers and the trading and stuff, it might be more, how do you say that, more detailed things. They're gonna concentrate more on the villagers, possibly. Right, I think that's it for survival changes. There's been some adventure mode changes. If the hitboxes are no longer invisible, so if you're in adventure mode, in the current version 1.7.4, the hitboxes around the blocks are still visible.
Wait.
Like in survival mode, if you select a block. So now in adventure mode,
okay, like that.
they're completely gone.
I was wondering if that meant that hitboxes on everything, like on the mobs and stuff. That just
no. Like
okay, no.
The
that
selection of the blocks.
No, okay.
That those outlines, the wireframe you see around the blocks.
That's not a hitbox though.
Gone.
Not always, at least.
Right. Okay.
But that's details.
Right. And there is no more block destroying or placing. In the current version, you can still destroy glass blocks and glowstone and lamps, which is really annoying for adventure maps.
There will be no light.
So now there's no more block destroying, like anything at all.
Yes, because people can't be trusted with anything.
Indeed.
Oh, you have a window there.
Not anymore.
Also, block interaction is impossible unless you give the player a tool with a can destroy NBT tag. So that means if you give the player a shovel and you put on the tag can destroy, for instance, sand, that one shovel can only destroy sand.
Oh, you
blocks.
actually need to specify what it can. Oh, okay.
Yes, you have to specify what it can destroy, and you can do that with every tool. So that's also really useful for adventure maps. So you can give someone an item, and
that can only destroy one thing.
And then it's clear what you need to destroy. So you can guide the people through the adventure.
It would be hilarious to just give people a shovel and then put them in a room with all different kinds of blocks and don't tell them what it works on. Okay, is it obsidian?
With a shovel, that's going to take a long while.
Is it the diamond block?
Right, I think that's about it for adventure mode changes. In this snapshot, at least, I think some more things are changed in the upcoming snapshots. Some minor changes.
Minor changes.
Minor.
Bug counter +1.
Minecraft. It's not really. Well, they're just random tidbits, not really minor, but you can lock chests by using an NBT tag, which has lock, and then you can put in a string. like a random word or just some letters, numbers,
that's cool.
whatever. And it can be opened with the item renamed to that string you named the lock to. So if you name a chest with lock secret, and you have an item renamed to secret, you can open that chest with that item.
See, that's pretty cool.
That's actually really cool.
That's really cool. Also, the difficulty can now be locked per world. Difficulty setting is also, how do I say this, is specific for each world. So if you're in peaceful in one world, it doesn't mean necessarily you are peaceful in another world.
I was wondering, isn't it that already? But no, it isn't. It's
no, if you
global thing.
Have a peaceful in this version, if it's peaceful in every world you have. But now it's separate. So that's one thing, and then it can be locked as well, that it stays on that difficulty, and you cannot change that anymore. So if you put it on hard and you lock it, it's going to be on hard forever. Let's see, relative teleporting is much smoother, but that's just a thing. Oh yes, /kill can be followed by a selector. So at the closest player, at everyone, you can even use names. So you can specifically kill someone with /kill.
Just a command block that goes kill Nathan.
That's gonna
I can't remember. Is there a random tag?
Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful. Just a button that kills a random player in the world.
Yes, yeah. I think in some. I think I saw that on the subreddit again. Some survival servers, they have in the center or at spawn, they have you can kill a random person and you can get
button.
A couple of diamonds. Let's say 20 diamonds if you kill a random person, but it will be shown in chat who killed
did it.
Who.
That's like,
so they can take revenge on that person.
Oh man, then people can start and reenact that movie. That one movie with the guy. That one movie with the guy, and he does the thing.
That's very specific.
Yeah, there's a movie about a couple who get a man over. He visits, and he has this briefcase with him. They don't know him at all, but he has this briefcase with him, and he explains, in this briefcase there is a button. If you press this button, one person in the world, a randomly selected person, dies. You will receive $1 million. Nobody will ever know that it was you. You have 24 hours to decide. And the entire movie is about like whether or not they push the button. And in the end, they actually... no, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
But people can go and reenact that movie now.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I
like that.
Cool. Yes.
Intrigue.
Also in this snapshot, there's an entity selector, the @E. So you have @P for the closest player, you have @A for every player. Now there's @E. So you can actually teleport mobs, minecarts,
nice.
All that stuff. You could just teleport it anywhere you like.
Random creeper.
That's actually really cool.
And also with the entity selector, you can, for instance, type /kill at the entities, and then you can specify which entities you want, like only kill the zombies or only kill.
Oh, that's absolutely beautiful.
And does that kill all the zombies in all the world?
You can select a radius as well. So if you don't select a radius, then everything, all the zombies in the world.
Well, that's sweet. Then our cities can finally have safe zones.
Yes, that's true. Awesome. But then you need to have a clock that runs constantly, and that's gonna be...
or just a plate when somebody enters the village. I mean,
oh yeah,
it's not that difficult.
But I think it's only applicable to like entities that are loaded inside of the chunks you are in.
Right.
So it's not like the entire world will get rid of zombies, because that
rocks fall and everybody dies.
Yeah, but actually this opens up opportunities for this bit wacky idea of in case of zombies break glass.
Yes, that's actually true. So
just put the button behind a glass pane. Yes. That's a very good idea.
You can put it in a village. Oh no, zombie invasion! Boop.
Yeah,
Hey,
there has to be this really loud alarm as well. With note blocks.
Note blocks. Bloom, bloom. Yes. That's gonna. Everyone's gonna hear that.
Everyone within a 50-block radius will.
And then, as a last thing, swamp trees are less dull. Don't know what that means.
I have absolutely no idea what swamp trees look like, unless it's no swamp trees. That's like the oak trees that just have
oak trees with vines. I don't think
they look dull.
I saw a picture. I think they changed the color. It's not like the dark green anymore. It's like the jungle green. I can be mistaken.
I actually think they look pretty nice.
Right.
All that.
Oh no, Mojang did something I don't like. We must go and complain on the internet forums now.
Yes.
Right.
So that was that snapshot. Jesus.
Tune in next time for another one.
No.
Yeah,
we're gonna do this now.
This takes a long time.
14. I'll just go quickly through them. So 14W03A. Some more survival changes. Villager trading has been adjusted again. Librarians sell name tags. That's also really useful.
Actually, I've never ever used a name tag before.
But you can name your horse.
Yes, I know I can name my horse, but I've never ever wanted to name my horse in Minecraft.
Because they die so quickly?
Why don't you
probably give it a stupid name like Snuffle or something? That's not a name for a horse.
But it's your horse. Why
a lovely
you
name for a
your
horse.
Horses are nice.
Yeah, I know they're nice, but I don't really feel the need to name the Minecraft horses. I don't want to get sad when they inevitably perish. When they die because they get stuck in a wall or something.
Right.
My horse is stuck in a wall.
My horse is stuck in a wall. Anyway. They nerfed in this snapshot. In the next snapshot, actually, it's changed again. But in 03A, the iron golems will only drop iron when killed by players, and the zombie pigmen will only drop gold when they are killed by players. So that means, in that snapshot, all of the iron and gold farms got broken.
Suckers.
Nothing worked.
Yeah, the zombie thing, the zombie pigman thing, I kind of get how you do that, but how on earth do you get an iron golem farm?
Well, it's like if you have a certain amount of villagers in a village. In this case, in the farms, it's like a square with millions of doors and all of the villagers, and then they spawn iron golems.
I've seen a villager farm. I think that was on a Nerdcube video on YouTube. That was just the doors. You do it by suspending the doors in the air, so when the villagers spawn, they fall down. And then they're not. I think it was something with then they're not registered as part of the village anymore.
Yeah.
And then the village just spawns more. But I'm not sure if that still works, because didn't they change? Now you need I don't know. It was cool.
I think in the 04 snapshot they changed villager breeding as well. Or was it in the previous one? That could also be
villager
possible.
breeding. That sounds so horribly wrong.
Breeding. It sounds really wrong indeed.
It sounds very clinical.
Talking about villagers, villagers will become witches when they are struck by lightning. Oh joy!
Yep. Because there weren't yet enough ways to die.
Yeah, indeed.
More ways. Village roads will generate cobblestone underneath the gravel bit.
Cool.
So when they, in the event that it spawns over a ravine,
as in every fucking time,
the gravel won't fall to the ground. I think.
Good.
I don't know.
Good.
Desert temples now use clay instead of wool. Wool. So it's like the orange and blue wool.
Yeah.
Right.
It's now just replaced by.
That's a little more.
Which actually makes a lot more sense.
A little less out of place.
Yes. A couple of command block changes. Player selectors can now support cubic areas, so you can choose one XYZ chord and another XYZ chord,
And select everyone in that coordinate?
And select everyone in that box or in that square. And then you can teleport or give items or anything like that.
That's going to be real handy for adventure maps.
Adventure maps and like mini game maps in vanilla then.
Yeah.
You need to be in, I don't know, a radius of this or in this square to capture a point. I just say something.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
You can also you can have a test 4 command. So you can now use test 4 in a box. That's quite useful for those mini games. Also very useful, there's a clone command, which can, well, it can clone large areas to other areas.
Of blocks. Oh, that's nice.
Blocks, yes. So you can just copy a house to another place, and it also supports the cubic areas. But there's a limit to how many blocks you can go, up to 4,000 blocks. It's still quite a lot, but
in a cubic area that is relatively limited.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, it's better than nothing.
Yes.
Suck it, MC Edit. We don't need you no more.
Well, actually, MC Edit is still more useful because you can select it immediately in.
Yes, of course.
If you have to go in creative in vanilla, you have to put down the command block, write down the coordinates. Anyway, with the clone command, you can choose either masked or replace. With the masked,
masked.
There's
I pictured this section of the world with a Zorro face. No, I have no idea.
No, that's not it. It will copy non-air blocks, and then the replace will just copy everything in that cubic area. So that means if you, with the mask thing, if you copy something to something else, and there's a villager there, it doesn't get deleted, I think, or if there's blocks there.
And if you use replace, then he is gone forever.
There's
you murderer.
Villager.
A fill command /fill, also with the cubic areas. So that's also quite MC Edit-ish.
MC Edity.
MC Edity.
Siedity should actually be a word. That's a really nice word.
The / teleport, the TP, you can use it to change a player's rotation. So you can choose which way he faces, which is really amazing. So you can actually run a clock with a couple of command blocks and just keep changing its rotation. And it works with relative commands. So if you have with a rotation relative, like 15 degrees, it will always go 15 degrees.
We call this the fuck you button.
Okay.
Also, it says here minor changes, but it's actually quite a big change. There's some skin improvements, a new skin layout.
Oh.
So the hat layer is now full body, so that's a complete hat. You can a complete head you can put on over your head, I presume. Legs and arms can be different between left and right, so they are textured separately. So it's no longer a copy of each other.
Yeah, I thought that was a weird limitation, to be honest.
Yeah,
it made sense in the beginning, but it's weird that they didn't change that before.
Yeah, and also with that change, there's also a second layer you can add. So you can actually have a normal skin, but then you can make actually a totally different skin and put it over your other skin. So you can basically have 2 skins at the same time, but the overlay is a bit thicker.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Like, for instance, if you can have in the current version, if a player has a hat, for instance, it like pops out a bit, right, from the thing. Well, that's now an entire skin. You can do that.
So you can basically give yourself something that looks like armor, or
yes. So that's good. Like that's also going to be abused, probably. Diamond armor layer.
I see the survival games going horribly wrong with that.
Yeah. Everyone having all of a sudden diamond gear. What?
Yeah, that's oh Jesus.
We'll see what that brings. For now, nothing's 1.8 yet, so that's good. And also, player heads are no longer one layer. So if you have a player head, if you spot it in, it was usually only the first layer of that hat. Now it has actually the second layer as well.
Yeah.
So that's also aesthetically a bit better.
Aesthetically pleasing.
Right, that was 03. Now,
Next.
14W04. Some survival changes. Item frames.
For the 5 people that are still listening.
Item frames can now rotate items by 45 degrees. So you can have a sword that's upright and
Finally.
downwards, left, right.
Yes.
And all the other things.
Yeah, that's actually kind of handy.
That is kind of
That's
cool. Yes.
Quite handy.
I'm gonna put that on my mantelpiece.
Also, item frames can now be used with comparators, which is really good in a way, but also really weird how it works. So the output signal of the comparator depends on whether there is an item in the item frame and how much it is rotated. So if there's
okay,
you
how
have
much
an item frame on a block, and on that block you have a comparator going out.
So basically you have a dial.
Yes, you
Oh, that's
do.
cool. I like that.
So the signal strength depends on if there's no item in it, there's no signal. If there's an item in it, it goes one redstone signal.
Yeah, that's
rotated
really
once,
nice.
2, twice, and so on and so on.
Oh, I dig
So
that.
you can have let's see, a maximum of signal strength of 8.
Yeah.
But you can do a lot with that.
Yeah, I
and-
mean that's basically a dial with 8 different settings.
Yeah. If you have like 3 item frames, you can have a combination lock of many combinations.
8 times 8 times 8. I can't be bothered to calculate that.
Yeah, let's not.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But that's a really cool thing. Also in adventure maps, can you rotate items in item frames in adventure mode? I don't know.
There's probably
You
an
know,
item for that.
Probably.
Right.
Also, some more improved villager AI. They're really working on the villagers in this.
Yeah, well, they weren't very
This
clever
version.
to begin with.
Yes.
Yeah. A bit. How do you say that? Meh.
Villagers will harvest, collect, and replant grown potatoes, wheat, and carrots. That's really cool. But for now, they pick it up, so they don't drop it. So you cannot have an automatic farm of that.
We can't make
Yet.
them into our indentured
slaves.
servants just yet.
No,
I
not
prefer
yet.
the term indentured servant.
Well, I prefer slave because slave. That's
At least it's clear communication.
It's clear
yeah,
communication.
that's very clear that you are someone's possession.
Right.
That person can do with you as he damn well
Yes.
pleases.
Okay. Let's continue.
Keep it PG, Ben.
A very cool change that's gonna be buttons can be placed on the floor and the ceiling. Yeah.
So we can finally have a
so
house full
lovely.
of buttons.
Yes.
I cuddle, but never mind.
Okay. Dispensers can place player-created mobs heads. It can place wither heads, and it can place pumpkins. So you can actually spawn a wither remotely.
Oh,
by
Jesus.
dispensing 3 wither heads on soul sand.
That is awesome and very dangerous.
That's
very
just the-
scary.
I see potential for a jump scare there. And then a skeleton popped out.
And also snow golems can be spawned like that. So if you dispense a pumpkin onto 2 snow blocks,
Yeah, an iron golem for that matter.
iron golem as well.
Is it golem or golem?
Golem, I don't know.
Leave it in the comments.
Leave it in the comments. Yes, tell us.
Yes. Let's see. Like I said before, Jeb changed the drops of the iron golems and zombie pigmen because many people were upset and mad.
Well, Jeb was wrong.
And now I'm gonna have to put some effort into it again.
Yeah, basically.
He actually tweeted. He thought that mob farms are actually item duplications, which is correct in some way. But he decided to not ignore the 5,000 cries of the community, the voices.
Oh Jesus!
So he changed it back, but he still doesn't agree with it.
No, the loud Minecraft fan base.
Yes. Well, the subreddit really works, actually. Let's see. In response to the mossy stone bricks, the mossy cobblestone can also now be crafted using cobblestone and vines. So that's another rare item that's not so rare anymore.
Useful.
It's not like I ever had a shortage of those.
Well, again, you don't have shortage of anything.
Yeah, I remember going into strongholds and cannibalizing everything and just taking everything. Leaving this real big hole in the ground.
Strip it clean.
With nothing in it, just hallways.
Leave no brick alive.
Some more command changes. The /fill command can be used to replace specific blocks. So you can choose one block, replace it with another, which is actually basically MC edit, but in real time with command blocks, which is also very useful for adventure maps.
The sand is now diamonds.
Then there is /particle, which can summon particles.
Oh, nice.
Particle effects. So you can summon the explosion particle effect without actually having an explosion.
Oh, does that come if you can do that without the sound? Then you just have the perfect setting for a stage with a smoke screen.
Yes, you can. You can actually have the particle effect of a fuse, or it's like a black smoke thing. You can actually make a cloak. A cloak, yes. Then the minor changes, which is again not that minor. Yes, minor.
I wasn't going to say it.
The F3 menu is improved. If you're in F3 mode, the crosshair will display 3 colored lines to indicate the direction of each axis. So a red line, a green line, and a blue line.
Yeah.
X, Y, and Z. And the X coordinate line, so where the X coordinate is located, it will be bold when you're looking at the east or west direction. So you know immediately on what line you are looking at.
That's clever.
That's really clever. So you can immediately know.
It's gonna help a lot of lost people, really.
That is. But it's also for, like, if you're making an adventure map, you can see which way you have to have, like, spawn in something. If you use relative chords, you don't always know immediately what direction is this.
And then trial and error gets old really fast.
Yes. Is this positive X? Is this negative X? Yeah. So now it actually shows it. And then a really minor change on the skin. The right arm in first person mode will show the second layer if it has a second layer on the skin. Yay! So that didn't show in the previous ones, so that now shows.
It shows.
It shows.
It shows.
It displays it.
The mark on thy left arm, it shows.
Yes. And that's it for the snapshots.
That was a lot of snapshots.
Hello, yes, you single listener still out there. Thank you for sticking with us.
Yeah, if you encounter us in any multiplayer server anywhere, you can just basically start making demands because
Run.
we love you.
Yeah, I think Run is probably
Run
the best
is
option.
the best one.
Well, he probably doesn't have to run from me. I can be very friendly when I'm not murdering people.
When you're not murdering them, right? Good. I think it's time to move on to Starbound.
Now, are we going to do Starbound? Because we're coming up on an hour now.
An hour already.
Yes.
Jesus.
Yes, it has been an hour.
Let's leave Starbound for another time then.
It has been a long time.
Let's just talk a bit about more games that we've played.
Yes,
that you guys
we can
played.
wrap it up with some interesting trivia.
Yes.
Some interesting hats.
What did you guys play this week or
So,
the past couple of
if
weeks?
I'm allowed to start,
Sure.
as I have been talking to you guys a little bit, I have been playing a lot of Endless Space the last few days. Endless Space is a really cool turn-based strategy game. Of course, as the name suggests, it is set in space. It is made by the, I believe, French Amplitude Studios.
French even.
Yeah, they're French. Ooh. Look at that. No, it's a real cool turn-based strategy game. Of course, coming from me, I don't play TBS that much, to be honest. Mm-hmm. I don't have like a super good understanding of how those games work, but I've certainly enjoyed this one. What I like about it is that it, like many turn-based strategy games, I suppose, is very complex, is very in-depth about the little choices you make in how to run your empire and what research you make. I guess a downside I have is that, and that is merely set dressing, but all the different factions, I believe there's 10 or 12 or something, they all have their little backstories and they have their own histories. It's a shame that when you're in game, that doesn't really affect anything. For example, the last game I was playing, one of my enemies was of the amoeba race, who are this sentient life form that evolved very slowly over millions of years from amoebas, basically. And they are literally these big blobs of jelly and tentacles. No, but their backstory states them as being a very peace-loving, philosophic race that always tried to search diplomatic ways to end conflicts instead of fight them out. Mm-hmm. And I was sort of counting on that when I allowed them into my territory. And you can see where this is going. Because
they killed you to pieces.
Yes, they killed me dead very harshly. To be fair, I'm not very good at the game, but still, I mean, for a race that prides itself upon being very diplomatic, I don't think that was a very diplomatic choice of action.
That wasn't really diplomatic, no.
But besides that, I think it's a really interesting game. I think I actually don't know if it's still in alpha. I think it might still be. That might also have been a while ago. I can't remember. It feels rather finished, I must say. If it's still in alpha, it feels very finished. And I suggest you give it a try. It's
I'll try
I was
it.
not endorsed for this, I will say.
Yeah, I have not been paid.
No,
we have not been paid to
this
say
is
these
my
things.
personal recommendation.
Right. What about you, Ben?
Yeah.
Well, me, been playing 3 games. A bit older by now, I guess. Well, maybe not that old. I'll start off with in the turn-based area. I've been playing a little bit of XCOM, the Enemy Within expansion, to be honest. And I tell you, there's nothing more gratifying than stomping a big alien into the dust with an even bigger mech.
In the face.
Cool.
Exactly.
In the face.
In the face, which is a very cool addition to that expansion. Those giant mech suits, love them.
Mech suits are always an improvement.
Mech suits, yeah.
Always improve upon everything. I really like that game because of the squad strategy and in taking down the aliens. It can be a bit frustrating at times when a 98% chance misses.
Statistics always there to fuck you over.
I've also had that many times.
Yeah, exactly. And when that happens, it's usually when you have your squad in these really awful positions, and then in the next turn, the enemy just basically kills half your squad.
Hooray.
That is very annoying.
Correct.
Luckily, with once you get the sense of the better tactics, and you realize that there's a suit of armor that makes your guys invisible, then it's not too bad, I guess.
Doable.
Doable.
And then I've also been playing another, well, at least partially turn-based game, Rome 2. Especially since the Caesar in Gaul expansion came out, I've been playing that a bit. I say a bit because usually when I play any Total War games, I play that for a very, very, very long time. However, this expansion, the smaller campaign map they feature in that thing, I really don't see. Well, I don't think it's all that special. It's not bad it's not bad at all. In fact, it's kind of engaging even, but it's just nothing new, which is kind of
okay. When you're making an expansion, then that is sort of, I guess that's sort of important.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few new factions and a few new units, but it's really just a campaign on a smaller map.
That you need to pay for.
that you need to pay
important
for.
detail.
Important.
So that's basically that what I've been doing. And I'm planning on going back to Rome quite soon to play a co-op campaign with a friend of mine, or a versus campaign. We don't really know yet.
Cool.
That sounds interesting.
I hope it will be.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, Andreas, you.
Well, I haven't really played all that many games. I think, well, Minecraft, with that one episode of the City Construction Challenge. But I don't think I have played all that much for the rest. Well, we have played Age of Empires together a bit.
Oh yes. I look forward to recording those matches.
Yes.
I apologize in advance for swearing, because I do.
Swearing and maybe broken internet. Let's hope that doesn't happen again.
We played a match a few days ago where the internet was basically the connection was atrocious, was absolutely abominable. We've never had it that bad. There's usually a little bit of lag, but it's never so much that it isn't playable. Last time we played, it was absolutely terrible, but we kept on. We persevered. We played on. We tried our best to ignore the massive lag, and then the game, in a fatal death stab of death and doom and more death, it crashed on us just out of nowhere.
Well, actually, I think it only crashed for you.
Goodness,
Ben and
right.
me were still playing. Actually,
we were still playing.
Maybe I was just the weak link. I was the.
You were the weakest link.
The weakest link.
You actually, it said you resigned. Actually, which
secretly I just rage quit. But nobody
so
needs to know. But nobody needs to know that.
Only everybody does now. At least maybe.
Well, no one's listening anymore. So.
No one's listening.
That one guy's gone now.
that one guy. So no, Age of Empires and Minecraft. That's about it, actually. Yeah. Right. Anything else you guys want to say? To add?
I think this is a pretty good. It's been a pretty good run,
How many
boys.
minutes are we on? About 110. Okay.
It's been a good test run, I'd say, and we should do this again when we have a better sense of how much time we can spend on snapshots, because that kind of was unexpected.
This is an alpha.
Take so long.
This is an alpha. Be glad it's not
episode.
a paid one.
Should I call it episode A or episode 1?
Just call it a pilot. Pilot episode.
Pilot, that's a good one.
Episode 001.
Yeah. Episode X.
001. You think you were going to go 3 digits?
Well, 0.01.
Yeah.
Okay.
3 digits, that's very optimistic.
That is a very... You could call it 0001.
000.
Let's go 1,000 episode, guys. No,
Yes.
let's not.
By the time we're all 60.
Right, so I think that about wraps up this first episode, or the pilot episode of Virtually Real. I have been RandomiteStudios, aka Andreas.
I have been Adnan. Also
right.
known for maybe the 10 people of you that know me as Method Runner online. Yeah, that has been me.
Yeah, and my name is Ben, and I'm Theologian.
Right, the online personas. They're also on the screens with the thumbnail and all that stuff. So, thank you guys very much for watching, and thank you guys for joining me, obviously.
The pleasure was ours.
Okay, and we hope to see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
La la.